So in today's video, I will demonstrate how I used ONE SPEEDLIGHT to create beautiful window light and show you how I created these images. So hi everyone, this is Jiggy, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So before anything else, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel and would want to learn more about off-camera flash photography or maybe just photography in general, then this channel is for you. So you might want to consider subscribing, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggy Alejandrino. So welcome once again to my small home studio, and for you guys who are new to the channel, this is a relatively small shooting area. This area here that you can see is only 2.5 meters or 3.5 meters long and 2.5 meters deep. However, we extended the backdrop a little bit further back, so I added about half a meter there, so we're talking about 4 meters here. And then, of course, the width here, we might overlap and use some of this area here. So technically, we might be shooting in an area of about 4 meters by 4 meters square. Now, the modifier that I will be using to create that beautiful window light is this one. This is what you call a scrim. Now, a scrim is basically just a diffuser panel. In other words, we're trying to create a window anywhere we are. So we're creating a window here in the studio. And normally, what is the shape of a window? I could have had this vertical, but I wanted to make it horizontal to really mimic a rectangular shaped window and make it wider. This is about 2 feet high and about 5 feet deep. And the flash that I will be using is just this one, a simple Sony f45RM. And it has nothing except for the fact that I have this one brought down, or I put this one down just to make my light wider. Now, what I will do is I will put this scrim somewhere here so that it mimics beautiful window light coming from this general direction. Then I will just put my flash right here. Then I will show you also in this particular video how to control contrast. In other words, we will be creating two types of images as you guys saw earlier. And those two images is one that's high contrast and another one that has very low contrast. Don't mistake that with the quality of the light. It is more just about the contrast, okay? So before that, let's get into what camera I'm using and all my settings. So the camera that I'm using is my Sony a7 Mark IV, and the lens that I decided to use today is my 24-70 f2.8 GM version 2. The reason why I'm using the 24-70 is because I want the flexibility to be able to zoom in and out. And at the same time, I'm probably going to be shooting a 3/4 body portrait. So most likely I will still be in the 50mm range, but I would want that flexibility. Plus, it's an amazing lens, okay? Now, everything that you are seeing is recorded via this one. This is Atomos Ninja V. It is getting a signal from my camera via HDMI. So in other words, everything that you are seeing is basically what my camera is seeing. So all the images are straight out of the camera. Absolutely no editing will be done unless stated otherwise. But normally I put the edited or processed photos at the very end of the video. So if you want to see the processed photos, stick around until the end of the video. Now, what are my settings? I put my shutter speed at 1/250. My aperture is at f4 and my ISO is at 100. Why set at 100? So that I can get the cleanest image possible. f4, not 2.8, because I want to get a bit of clarity with her dress, her eyes, her nose. I just want everything clear. I don't want to bokeh anything. So f4 is more or less safe. 5.6 would be better, but since I am using the f45 and I don't want to increase my ISO, I think I will stick with f4. Now 1/250, it's because that is my flash sync speed for this particular camera and this particular trigger. Now the trigger that I'm using is this one. This is a Sony WRC-1M remote commander, which controls this f45RM wirelessly. And the best thing about it, look, I will press a button here in the back. I can control my flash power from my in-menu system. Now what else are my settings? Well, I will set now my flash to about 5600 Kelvin because this flash unit is rated at 5600 Kelvin. And aside from that, basically that's all I need to do. My flash power, I will change later. By the way, right now it is set at group C. So I can turn this one off. All right. So with all those settings out of the way, I think it's time for me to call in my wife, Coco, who will be my model for today. Babe, come on in. Hi, babe. And of course, you look fantastic. And we still do have to thank Mela Jimenez for virtually assisting you put on your makeup today, even though she wasn't really present. She just gave you a Zoom link. So thank you very much again, Mela, for making Coco look good and you don't even know that you did it. All right. Okay. So you could see now that I have my scrim positioned this way. Coco is very close to the light. This is basically your light source. By having her really close to that, we are invoking the inverse square law. Therefore, we're going to be creating a quick fall off of light, creating a lot of contrast. My flash right here, the f45RM behind, is only about 1.5 feet from this particular scrim. So let's take one shot now. Oh, by the way, right now, whatever it is that you are seeing is not the actual exposure that my camera is picking up. The moment I turn off my flash trigger, you will see that everything is pitch black. That is the actual exposure. It's only when I turn on my flash, it deactivates live view so that I can see whatever it is that I'm shooting. So again, all right, babe, let's do one. Very nice. Remember, this is your light, okay? That's beautiful. So look at this particular image. You've got a lot of contrast in one side. It's beautiful. It's beautiful soft light, but high in contrast. So don't ever confuse high contrast lighting to the quality of the light. Okay, babe, so let's shoot some more. Maybe you could face the light a little bit. There we go. Eyes to center, please. There, beautiful. Love it. I love it. Maybe your hand in front too. That's beautiful, babe. How about facing the light some more? There we go. That's it. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Nice. Very nice. Now, you guys might be asking, why don't I just use a standard softbox instead of a scrim? Well, number one, it's very difficult for you to have a big softbox like this. This is a relatively small scrim, about 2 feet by about 5 feet. This is small in terms of scrim standards. But imagine if you had this one as a softbox, it would be so deep, it would be so heavy. It's going to be very difficult, especially for a small home studio. And you can't do this. Imagine that I can actually move where my light is coming from without having to move my modifier, which I will show you now. Right now, I am lighting, the light is somewhere here, right here. It's lighting, oops, sorry. It's lighting this side of the face. If I move it from here, the light now is somewhere here, facing this way. Therefore, I'm not now getting the short side of the face. Because remember, even when we are shooting with window light, the direction of where the light is coming from is also dependent on the position of the sun. So this one allows us to basically move the sun around. So this is your sun. It could be at 12 noon or at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock or at 3 o'clock right here. So let's put it at around 3 o'clock. Okay? And let's take a few test shots. Babe, I'm lighting your short side. So profile going here. Very nice. Beautiful. But now, of course, I'm getting a little bit of spill in the background. So maybe I just move the light a little bit more this way. There we go. But we're still going to be lighting the short side of the face. Very nice. Beautiful. All right. So with that one now, we can dramatically change the way the light looks just by moving the light further away. Because if I move the light further away, then we will get less contrast. So now I have the light about maybe a good 5 feet away from the scrim. And let's see how that one will look like. All right, babe, one more. Okay, two things. One, we're already casting a shadow of the scrim. And number two, we're underexposed. So that's when you would want a bigger scrim. Because having a bigger scrim, you won't cast those shadows there. But let's pretend that the scrim is bigger. And I will just adjust the power of my light. Maybe right now I'll put it at full power and see how it turns out. Okay, all right. So you notice immediately that we lost a lot of contrast already in terms of the image. The light fall off is very evenly distributed. You've got beautiful, beautiful soft light. The only problem is we are getting a bit of the background, well, a bit of the pattern of the scrim on the background. So the solution to that is either get a bigger scrim. Let's try it out this way first. Let's move the light here. Let's move the scrim there and see how that one will turn out. Created actually a very interesting pattern. You know what? I'll play around with that first. This is very unscripted because there is a solution to remove those patterns in the background, but it actually turned out pretty cool. All right, babe. A little bit more. I'm just going to move this slightly so we can get that really nice pattern on the background. There we go. Oh, beautiful. And I could even bring this down. Get more pattern in. Oh, that's really nice. Wait, huh? Keep that. I'll move the light this way. There. That's me playing around with the scrim and the patterns. But honestly, all I could do, since it's such a big light source, all I need to do is really just pull it back. The light's about 2 feet away from the scrim. Bring this one up a little bit more. And we should get beautiful soft light now, evenly distributed even in the background. Okay? There, beautiful. And proper exposure. Now I think I'll just lift this up a little bit. Very nice, babe. Beautiful. Okay? All right, so basically, that's how to create, thank you very much, babe, thank you. That's basically how to create beautiful window-looking light with just one tiny speed light and one of these. This, again, is what you call a scrim. And for you guys who are based in the Philippines, I'll put a link in the description below on where to get this because it is a relatively inexpensive modifier. It is about equivalent to US dollars, about $100 for this one. And it also comes with a silver lining so that you could use it as a reflector, a white lining also so that you get softer light when you're reflecting light, and a black panel so that you can use it as a flag. Now, the light that I used again was this one, my Sony f45RM. And what I did earlier was that I was actually playing around with the distance of the light to your modifier. So by having it this far, I was able to use the entire modifier, creating an even bigger light source, but less contrast. Having it this close created a really high contrast image because of the inverse square law. The light fall off was a lot faster, but the nice thing about that, it just created beautiful, dramatic, soft light. And at the same time, you know, these are the nice things about this scrim, because you cannot do that with an ordinary softbox. You can't direct the light coming from here and still have the softbox in the same position. Can't have it from here. This is how I did my short side lighting earlier. Then again, of course, we can put it at center or just put it back. Okay? So if you guys have any questions with regards to this video, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And I do hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, again, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could always find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggy Alejandrino. Okay? Till the next video.